This is Lori D'Onofrio-Galli from the Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce, and today I'm happy to welcome a special guest, Linda Hartman from WK&S Railroad in Kempton, PA. The railroad joined our Chamber of Commerce last July 2016, and in a few weeks they will be celebrating a very special event for the entire weekend, Civil War Days. Linda, welcome to Kutztown Live. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your involvement with the railroad and give us some idea about some other events as well as Civil War Days that you'll be hosting in the coming months.
Okay. I'm a volunteer at the WK&S. The WK&S got started in 1963, so we're celebrating our 53rd year. We have wine and cheese trains throughout the year. We have Kids Fun Weekend. We have Touch-A-Train. We have...
You have a wine train,
Yes,
don't
we
you?
do. Yes. We have 3 of those. We have Pumpkin Patch in the fall, and we have Harvest Moon. So we have lots of special events. And our regular trains are every Sunday, 1 through 4. And you can find more information on us at our website, which is kemptontrain.com.
And I know that you're near 2 other members of our chamber, and that would be the Wanamaker Store.
Yes.
And Hawk Mountain.
Yes.
Right? You're located near those places.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But our big event that is coming up is our Civil War weekend, which we are doing that in conjunction with the Community Center and Albany Historical Society.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Is this your first ever Civil War Days?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Yep.
Wonderful.
And that will be May the 20th and 21st.
And I know today we'll be hearing from the gentleman who,
Excellent.
General Grant,
Yes.
right? That's Ken Servos.
Yes.
Correct? Mm-hmm. And also, I believe you mentioned that the Albany Township historian will be involved.
Yes.
And his name is John Robertson.
Yes, it is.
All right, then. So tell us about the event.
Well, the event is a 2-day Civil War living history encampment on the grounds of the Kempton Community Center, adjacent to the WK&S Railroad, and also the Albany Township Historical Society is hosting the event. And the purpose behind it is to raise funds to restore the steam locomotive operation on the WK&S Railroad.
Very good. Now, when is this happening?
It's going to happen the weekend of May 20th and 21st this year, Armed Forces Day weekend for people who look on the calendar. And it really kicks off the night before. Albany Township Historical Society is hosting a talk by me in my impression role as General Ulysses S. Grant. And to tie it into the event for the railroad, I'm speaking on the use of railroads in the Civil War, Grant's strategy with them, and his understanding of how to use them beyond some of the other generals of the time. So it's a nice tie-in for the railroads themselves, and then we take you back to our historical period and why are all these Civil War people in Kempton now? So you'll have a good connection.
So does this happen on a yearly basis, or is
this is our first attempt at this? Yeah, right here. And for me personally, having grown up in the Lehigh Valley, riding the WK&S as a little kid, growing up with the steam locomotives there, this is one of those things I don't want to see it die.
Right.
You know, obviously they run diesel locomotives, but for those of us that grew up with the steam, it's something we'd like to see come back. And with the work that I do in my historical impressions to pass on information about Civil War history, I look at it kind of as a way to give it back a little bit in that way that I can use the notice I've gained from this and the people I know that are in the living history hobby to drag them all together and let's go help this railroad get the train back on the track.
So why is it important for parents, grandparents, whoever, caretakers, to expose kids to this sort of event? It's
forgotten history, and particularly local history. That railroad's been there through a long period, and the parents
seen a
today,
lot over the years.
Yeah, and parents today are the children and grandchildren of people who rode that railroad to go to school.
Right,
and they're the children and grandchildren of people who made their livelihood because that railroad came through here.
Because it was there. All right. Anything you would like to add over there, sir?
Sure. The Historical Society, I'm the Albany Township historian, John Robertson, and I grew up in the area, and I didn't know that much about the Civil War period for Albany Township, but I'm going to be doing a talk on the morning of the 20th, and I've been doing a lot of research. We had at least 36 people that served in the Army during the Civil War from 1861 all the way through 1865, and I'm going to be highlighting a few of the soldiers that fought and what their background was and what they experienced. So for me, it's been a learning experience, and it's going to be fun to share with the community.
So I'm sure you're very happy to see the community come together for something like this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Working with the community center and with the railroad and the Historical Society, they're all right together, and they're great organizations to work with.
That's wonderful. Anything else either of you guys would like to add before we...
I have to second that as an outsider.
Okay.
To see three organizations cooperating as they are. I live in Gettysburg, so I'm around a lot of historic activity and a lot of businesses where you scratch your head wondering why they don't work better together.
Right.
To bring it all together. And here's this town off in Berks County, far removed from all that, and they've all embraced the concept.
Who does it very well.
Yeah, and they've welcomed my Civil War side to come in with it. And my Civil War folks are really excited because as I've been going through the meetings with these entities, I've been updating the Civil War folks. So they're looking at it like, wow, this is great. All these people are cooperating. This should really, really come together nicely.
All right, so tell us when folks get to this event, what can they expect? Paint the picture for us.
All right, you can expect throughout the day the trains will be running, and throughout the day on the trains, you're never going to know which Civil War personalities will be on the train with you. So you can ride multiple times, and on one ride you might have General Lee, you might have General Grant, you'll have regular common soldiers, you might even have some spies on the train. You never know who's going to be there. One of the highlights is that on Saturday, Mr. Lincoln will arrive at the station, so you have to get down there early enough to make sure you're there for that. Throughout the day, there will be a number of speakers of these different personalities. There are a few authors that will be talking. One of them wrote a book about the children's experience, and he has the From the Eyes of Johnny Clem, who was the drummer boy of Chickamauga, the youngest Civil War soldier at age 10. Ooh. Very interesting there. There will be a few civilians and politicians. Throughout the day, Mr. Lincoln will speak on Saturday, and Sunday we're going to have a panel of generals and politicians together. So Lee and Grant will be there, and Lincoln, and extra Billy Smith, who became governor of Virginia. He was an extra General Smith of the Confederate Army, so they distinguish him by that little title. But he left the Army when he was elected governor. So it's not just about the war, it's about the people and what their own experiences were, too. There will be Civil War soldiers encamped, and you'll be able to go in and interact with them and possibly learn how to handle a musket and learn some drill as well.
Sounds pretty interesting. So for anybody that might have missed that, is there any place we can get more information about the event?
I think on the WK&S Railroad website, on the WK&S Facebook page, and the other Facebook page for Albany Township, possibly. And U.S. Grant in Living History, also on Facebook.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
Well, come out and support your local history, not just American history, but your local history.